They called him worthless, a failure, the weakest student in the entire academy. For 3 years, Kaito Yamamoto endured their mockery, their cruelty, their absolute certainty that he would never amount to anything. But on the night of the awakening ceremony, something ancient stirred within him, something that made even the gods tremble. This is his story. Tensho Academy, the most prestigious magical institution in the empire. Every year, thousands apply. Only 300 are chosen, and among those 300, power determines everything. Students are ranked by their aura level, a measurement of magical potential that appears at birth and determines your entire future. The strongest, level A, destined for greatness, wealth, influence, power. The average, level C, respectable, capable, normal. And then, there was Kaito, level F, the lowest rank ever recorded in the Academy's history. Most students with F-level auras never even apply. They know their place. They accept their fate. But Kaito refused to accept anything. His father had been a legendary S-rank mage who died protecting the Empire. His mother, an A-rank healer who passed during childbirth. The son of 2 of the most powerful mages in history, was born with nothing. The world saw this as a cruel joke. Kaito saw it as a challenge. Every day, he trained harder than anyone else. He studied longer. He pushed his body past its limits. But no matter how hard he worked, his aura never awakened. 3 years of torment. 3 years of being called the disgrace, the stain on legends, the zero. And the cruelest voice of all belonged to the one person who should have protected him. Ren Takahashi, level S, the prodigy, the golden child, and Kaito's childhood friend. Once, they had been brothers in all but blood. Their parents had fought together, died together. But where tragedy drove Kaito to work harder, it drove Ren to believe he was chosen, special, superior. You're an embarrassment to your father's legacy. Those words cut deeper than any blade. Your parents died heroes. And you? You can't even light a candle with magic. Maybe the bloodline recognized you weren't worthy and simply refused to pass on. The crowd laughed. Kaito said nothing, but inside, something cracked. He could have given up that day. Most would have. But Kaito remembered his father's last words to him. Words spoken when he was just 5 years old, too young to understand their meaning. Son, there are 2 types of power in this world, the kind that is given and the kind that is earned. The second is always stronger. Remember that. The awakening ceremony, held once every 3 years, a sacred ritual where students interact with the divine crystal, an ancient artifact said to contain the essence of the gods themselves. For most students, touching the crystal does nothing. Their powers are already known, already measured. But for a rare few, the crystal awakens something hidden, something dormant, something beyond the normal ranking system. Every S-rank mage in history had been awakened by this crystal, including Kaito's father. When Ren touched the crystal, the entire hall exploded with golden light. The elders gasped, a divine blessing, something that appeared once in a century. Ren smiled, basking in the adoration. He was no longer just powerful, he was chosen. And then, it was Kaito's turn. The laughter was deafening, the mockery relentless. Why is the Zero even allowed to participate? This is a waste of everyone's time. Watch, the crystal will probably reject him. Kaito ignored them all. He had waited 3 years for this moment. 3 years of pain, 3 years of doubt, 3 years of being told he was nothing. He placed his hand on the crystal, and the world stopped. The crystal had never reacted like this. Not in 10,000 years. Black and crimson energy erupted from Kaito's body. The measurement system shattered. The elders' faces turned white with terror because they recognized this power. They had only seen it in ancient texts, in warnings passed down through generations, in prophecies they prayed would never come true. The Void Sovereign, a class so powerful, so dangerous that the gods themselves had forbidden its existence. The last person to awaken this power had destroyed an entire civilization. And now, for reasons no one understood, it had chosen Kaito. Kaito couldn't believe what was happening. For 3 years, he had prayed for power. Any power. Just enough to prove he wasn't worthless. But this was beyond anything he could have imagined. The energy flowing through him felt like an ocean. Endless, ancient, hungry. And somewhere in the depths of his mind, something spoke. Finally, the voice said, after 10,000 years of waiting, a worthy host has appeared. Who are you? Kaito asked. I am what they sealed away, what they feared, what they erased from history. I am the Void, and you, child of tragedy, child of perseverance, are now my sovereign. Why me? I'm the weakest. Weak? The voice laughed. It was a sound that shook the universe. You were never weak, Kaito. You were dormant. Your power was too vast to awaken through normal means. It required something your peers will never understand. What's that? Suffering, patience, and an unbreakable will. When Kaito's power finally stabilized, the hall was silent. The elders didn't know what to do. The students didn't know what to think. But Ren understood. For the first time in his life, his aura had reacted to another's presence. Not with dominance, with fear. The golden prodigy looked at the boy he had mocked for 3 years, and he saw a monster. In the days that followed, everything changed. The mockery stopped. The laughter disappeared. The same students who had called him Zero now whispered his name with fear. Did you hear? His power broke the measurement system. They say the gods themselves are watching him now. The headmaster had an emergency meeting with the emperor about him. Kaito listened to none of it. Power had never been his goal. Respect had never been his motivation. He had simply refused to accept a fate others had decided for him. And now, that refusal had changed everything. How? Ren demanded. You were nothing. I trained every day. I had the best tutors, the best resources. I was born with divine blood. And you, with your worthless F-rank aura. Kaito turned to face him. That's the difference between us, Ren. His voice was calm, not mocking, not angry, just certain. You trained because you were gifted. I trained because I had nothing else. You practiced to maintain your status. I practiced to survive. You believed power was your birthright. I knew it had to be earned. He walked past his former friend. The power that is earned is always stronger. My father told me that when I was 5, I finally understand what he meant. But Kaito's story was far from over. The power of the Void Sovereign came with a cost. Dark forces that had been sealed away for millennia began to stir, sensing their master's return. The gods themselves took notice. Some wanted to destroy him, others wanted to use him. And a few, a rare few, believed he might be the one to save them all. The academy that had mocked him now needed him. The empire that had ignored him now feared him. And the boy who had been called worthless was about to become a legend. This was only the beginning. Kaito's journey into the world of gods, monsters, and forbidden power has just begun. If you want to see what happens next, how he masters the void, confronts the gods, and faces enemies that would terrify entire armies. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell. Part 2 drops soon, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Until next time.